I wanted was an S-Class, yeah. Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up.
Tune in, sex, love, plastic. Sex, love, and plastic.
Sex, love, and plastic, alright?
We're just talking that shit on this.
Yo, y'all already know the motherfucking vibes. Welcome to another episode of Sex, Love, and Plastic. I'm your host, Jazz, better known as J De Niro 21 on Instagram. And you can follow me on Twitter at DaddyJazz21. A special guest in the building. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
I am Toni Branson, as a matter of fact, first and last name, if we want to be technical. I'm Tomboy301 on Instagram, Twitter platforms. I am the owner of Stylist Freedom, a tomboy lifestyle brand that I created back in 2008 to represent for the tomboy culture. I'm also a filmmaker as well. We can dabble into that. I worked with Jazz in the past on New York Girls TV.
I was just about to say that. Let the people know you had a big part in New York Girls production. Let them know what you was on. I was a producer on New York Girls TV, and Amara brought me in, and I was able to work out. I think I was there from season 2, season 3, and then the movie. So that was a really, really good experience, and I was so happy to be a part of that. So yeah, so that's me. That's who I am. I'm happy to be here. All right. So, we know each other. We about to vibe out. So,
yeah.
I know that you're not originally from here. Let the people know where you're from.
I am born and raised in the DMV. Straight out of Largo, Maryland. Born and raised. I moved to New York in 2008 after college. So, after I came home from college, I went back to D.C. for a couple years to lay some roots and just figure out what I wanted to do. And then once I decided that film and fashion was truly my passion, that rhymed.
Yeah.
I was like, well, where can I go to really make this happen? California didn't seem realistic, so I came to New York. I went to New York Film Academy in 2008 and completed the producer program, which gave me the skills to be on New York Girls TV. And then in 2010, I started Stylist Freedom.
Yes. That's what we got on today. Show the people your shirt.
Yeah. And this right here, I'm really proud of this shirt. This is from my new collection. And this is the first shirt that I actually constructed and engineered myself. Being as though I didn't go to fashion school, I only went to film school, I really self-taught myself to be a fashion designer. So I just started drawing and making little sketches. And I came up with my own silhouette for a t-shirt. And so here it is. And I'm very proud of that. So Stylist Freedom is all about the tomboy. Like I said, a tomboy is a talented, original, motivated, brilliant, outstanding individual, because the tomboy is always the elephant in the room. So
heard you. I seen somebody with this on, somebody real famous. I think it was Gabby. Who was it? Gabrielle Union? Yeah. So we getting it out there. You getting it out there.
Queen, she had it on as well. Kelly Rowland.
Okay.
She had on a crop top as well. So yeah, a couple pieces. Poe Johnson, she always supports. So there's a couple celebrities and people, tastemakers that are out there showing love, and I appreciate it.
All right. So today we're gonna be talking about building and finding community. And basically relationships are important in our community because the relationships we build, people become like our family, and those are like our new home. So as far as, like I said, I know you just moved here. What was your experience when you got here to find like your tribe and your people once you did move here?
Man, that was different, because when I moved to New York, I don't know, I guess from like music videos and hip hop, you think that New York is a black city, And I come from Maryland, the DMV. I grew up around black people. My high school was all black. The white kids were the minority in my community. So I grew up in a very affluent black community. So growing up from that and coming to New York, I kind of thought it was going to be a parallel with that. And it wasn't. And that was shocking to me. So I spent a lot of time kind of by myself. And then I wanted to say, you know what, let me start going out to the club and trying to find where the gay people at. And I was able to find Brooklyn Boyhood. And when I found Brooklyn Boyhood, that's when I really found my tribe. Shout out to Brooklyn Boyhood. Shout out to Ryan and Mo and Chino and all those guys. And when I found them, that's when I started finding my community. Started finding more people from back home, because Ryan is also from D.C. And finding some people that really were of my likeness.
Gotcha.
And then after I started the brand, I started doing fashion shows, and there was the big fashion show at the lab. I forgot who put that on. I think it was Fallon Davis that did that fashion show, put that fashion show on, and that's when I found a lot of close friends that I still have to this day. Peanut, Poppy, Myrna. I found a lot of good friends in that community. But that's really how it started, finding Brooklyn Boyhood, finding that kind of tribe that was parallel to me, and then going from there.
For people that don't know, what is Brooklyn Boyhood?
Oh, Brooklyn Boyhood is a collective that really cultivates and nurtures the masculine community outside of the traditional trajectory. So, of course, the queer space. So it was really created for black and brown queer individuals to be able to come together, party, meet, network, build together, do therapy together, and just have a safe space to kind of connect.
Have you ever felt like you've been like rejected or not given an opportunity because of your sexuality or how you present masculinity?
Always, yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, I feel that it has been something that's hindered me. You know, it was even a perception that my mother had from the beginning. She felt that me dressing like this would stop me from getting jobs and, you know, many opportunities in my life. And that's the reason I started Stylist Freedom, because I wanted her to show her that that wasn't true. That it was going to be my character, my professionalism, how I carried myself, how I treated people, that was going to help me advance, and not my clothing. So, but yeah, unfortunately, I do get a lot of pushback until people get to know me, or until I have to do that extra work to make them see past, you know, the traditional silhouette. But yeah, it's always that pushback, because I think initially some people always think that I'm trying to be a man, and I'm not. I'm more than comfortable and happy as a woman, and presenting as a woman, and fighting for my space as a masculine woman. I think that's why I went so hard for the clothing line, like I said, to prove to my mom I wasn't trying to be anybody other than who I am, but I didn't want to be feminine, and that's okay.
I feel you on that, because even back to like my last relationship, I look masculine. I got the mustache naturally, no teeth, nothing like that. Especially when I'm real slim, I really look like a boy.
Mm-hmm.
So people always just be like, "Oh, you should just transition." First of all, who said I wanted to do all that?
Right.
I know I have a pussy. I love my pussy. I don't like everybody else. Y'all follow how y'all feel in your heart. Do what's best for you, and that's gonna make you feel like your true self. But for me personally, I look like this, but that's it. I haven't changed. I go by she. Like, my pronouns don't change. Like, I appreciate when people ask, like, "Oh, what are your pronouns?" But
do you? Sometimes I get offended.
You do?
Sometimes people just aren't paying attention. You know, I've had people that have worked with me for like years or months or weeks, and then they'll be like, "Oh, how do you identify?" And it's just like, come on, man. You know, I just feel like those who are in that space and identify outside of the traditional trajectory are going to tell you immediately.
Yeah.
When they tell you their name, they're going to say I'm they, them, or et cetera, et cetera. So if I just introduce you as, "Hello, I'm Toni,"
yeah,
like, look at me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that I do have very boyish qualities about my presentation, but I think that if you pay attention, you know that I'm a girl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it does annoy me at times, and sometimes I feel like it's embarrassing. You know what I mean? You standing in a group of people, and, you know, everybody's introducing, and, you know, they get to know, like, "Oh, how do you identify with your pronoun?" You know what I'm saying? It's just like, whoa, like, relax. You know what I'm saying?
For me, the hardest thing is, it was already bad enough when the little kids be like, "Are you a boy or a girl?"
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that I understand. Exactly. But we grown. Like you're right. If I don't come straight out and say it, don't assume.
Yeah.
And that's just how it should be.
Like, do the work. Like, you know, you would go on Instagram to see who I'm fucking. Go in there and see something, be like, "Oh yeah, she a girl." You know, it's not on my bio. Not like, go do a little homework. If you that concerned about it, go do a little homework and just make sure, or just call me a girl and see if I correct you.
You know what's crazy? My coworker that I got at my job, he's Jamaican.
Mm-hmm.
And my other coworkers told him that I had a girlfriend. He didn't even know I was gay. Him, like, the way he don't judge nobody.
That's cool, because
he had to ask me. He was like, "You like girls?" And I'm looking at myself like, "You don't see me," but then I'm like, he sees me. Like, he sees I'm a girl. Like, he sees
you
me
as a
like,
girl. Yeah, so he's not.
That kind of made me feel good. Like,
right.
all right, yeah, man, I got a situation. Yeah,
that's cool. Right.
So yeah, I understand that part, because that made me feel good. Like, all right, he did not judge me off the rip or nothing. He didn't even know. He didn't know not a thing. But back to your brand and all of that. You started from nothing, from the bottom. You came here, took a shot. What makes you stay motivated, and what pushes you to, like, keep going?
It's been 13 years, 15 years, you know, grinding with the brand, and I would say I'm still more inspired than ever. You know, I woke up this morning with a big smile on my face, because the internal fire to keep pushing and showing people the sentiment of what a tomboy is, and also for the kids coming behind me, man, they need this. You know, I want them to be able to look I have a flyer here. Hold on. I want them to be able to see my billboard. You know, when they're like driving down the street and they see a billboard, they can see somebody that looks like them.
That's a fact.
And say, oh yeah, that's me. You know what I mean? And not have to worry about just looking at, you know, the same man Calvin Klein ad or Supreme ad with the same dude on it. But you can see a representation of yourself in fashion that's positive and nurturing to the tomboy culture. That's very, very important to me because everybody that dressed like this isn't gay.
That's a fact.
It isn't trans or isn't in that space. There are a lot of, you know, straight young ladies who just aren't growing into their femininity. And I feel like everybody has to be pushed into that. I know some girls that I went to college with, they used to dress like a tomboy, but by senior year of college, they were full into their feminine, girled out, hair dress, nails, all of that. It takes time because we don't know how to feel about our bodies. We don't know, you know, when your breasts might be a little bigger, you don't know how to feel comfortable with that. And then dudes are commenting and saying things and you don't really know how to feel about that. So it's like you might be hiding and, you know, and that's why you're like, yo, what you hiding for? Let me see that. But you're not ready. So I feel like sometimes you might be pushed into this box of gay just because you're dressing a certain way, but that's not necessarily how you feel.
I ain't gonna lie, I did that. When I was younger, nobody couldn't tell me Tiana Taylor was not a dyke. The way she used to dress, I was like, yo, she's gay, she's gay, she's gay, she's gay.
Exactly.
She probably, you know, dibble dabble, but she's, you know, she grew into her shit. And I'm looking at her and I'm like, oh my God, she fly, she fine. She could put on anything. Same thing with Coyle Ray. Coyle Ray is fine to me. Kalani do it all the time. That's a fact.
Listen, I had a girl that was my homie. This was a homie of mine. You know, growing up playing ball, going to the club. I think went to college. I hadn't seen her all year. Came home for the summertime. I was like, yo, what the fuck is that? I was like, yo, wow. Girled out, had cut her hair, and put on like all this girly shit, the heels and everything. I was like, oh shit, is this just for today? Or is this like the new thing? Yeah. But and then that was her pocket. And you know, feminine and the masculine coexist all the time. One might be a little bit superior to the other, but the men have masculine and feminine traits as well, and that's okay. I think that we need to stop putting such a percentage on what you have to be based on gender roles or gender identity or whatever you say. The masculine and the feminine can coexist.
I think the clothing is the new example of that. Like you said, especially like with people who's not gay or whatever the case may be, or females dressing more masculine, and the men buying the women clothes. They buy women jeans. Yes. They be wearing crop tops, purses, and all that. So
it's fine. Style is freedom.
Period.
That's why. Style is freedom. Your style is your freedom. Your style makes you feel confident. It liberates you. It gives you confidence. It's your armor. When we used to go to school, you couldn't tell me not when I ripped that white t-shirt out that package and put it on, boy. You couldn't tell me not. I was good. I was ready for the world. You know what I'm saying? So, style is freedom. It builds you up.
I got a question. Are you going to get into pants?
Absolutely.
The reason I want to know about the pants is masculine women, well, people in general, we buy boy jeans thinking that it's going to look on us how it does on a boy, but we got more thighs, we got more hips. So when we put the pants on, sometimes it don't be giving the vibe that you thought it was supposed to give, or it don't look like how it looks on a guy.
Yeah. These aren't that bad, but there's some crotches that go down so far that give all this extra room here that way it can't fit good on your thighs. So it makes extra space here. So all this shit gets bunchy because there's nothing to sit here. So I feel like the first thing to do is to eliminate some of this material here. And once we do that, then it'll already create a better silhouette here. So, cause see, even here I got a little bit too much. Yeah. So that'll help with the thigh issue in this. But I gotta do a little more research. But I feel initially that's one of the first issues that we have is just too much fabric here in the middle that can go.
Girls, remember, when you buy boy clothes, if you got some ass and some hips, it's not gonna look exactly the same as it did on that guy. You might look. My thing is, I be thinking I look a little fat. You don't look fat. You just a little thick. It's okay.
If you a little thick, you got a little bit more hips. You gotta stay away from that bread. You hear me? Stay away from that bread. Stay in the gym a little bit.
That's a fact.
Definitely I feel like, especially with more masculine dominant, we want more of a straight silhouette. We really don't want that. So we gotta do a little bit harder work on working out and staying away from certain foods, because as a woman, naturally, those things are going to start to spread once you gain weight. You know what I mean? And I think that also has, made some folks, who might not necessarily be mentally in a space where they might be like, oh, I want to be trans, but they have body dysmorphia in terms of the way they look. So they feel like that's the only option to go, is to be a trans, to transition to get the body that they want, but it might not necessarily align with how they feel, but they want to look a certain way. So, and I get that too, because, I struggle with that. But again, you got to just start working out and put a little bit more energy, because as you become an adult as a woman, things are just going to start to happen.
That's a fact. So I know you got a movie, Tomboy Love Story, right?
Yeah. Tomboy Love Story. I shot that back in 2021. Man, it hurts me to say that, but I'm just trying to be patient to make sure I put it out the right way. But I shot this short film. My coworker at the time, who's a DP, came up to me. She had this great idea. She told me that she was watching this movie called For the Love of Money, and there was this sequence where Robert Redford was talking about he saw this woman on the train one time, and she was beautiful, and he hesitated, never saying anything to her. He went back to the train station for 2 weeks at the same time every single day looking for her. And I was like, damn, that's dope. I was like, we should do that. Nah. So I was like, so she was like, you like that idea? I think you should do something like that. I was like, that. So I took that concept and made that similar concept before Tomboy. Because living in New York City, I feel like that happens all the time.
All the time.
When you see somebody on the train, or you catch an eye, or y'all might be whatever vibing, but you don't say nothing. They get on your train, you get on your train, and then that's it.
That's it.
And then you might not never see them again.
Thinking
and maybe you do.
All week.
And you're thinking about them all week. So I kind of came up with that same scenario where two people saw each other, and we saw the one girl go back every single day at the same time. We saw her get dressed every morning, anticipating looking good for her, and hoping to get that chance to see her again, going back at the same time. And she misses her a couple times, and then eventually, she catches up with her. So I just thought it was a cute love story, to just to put in the universe, because again, sometimes when I feel like when we get to tell our story, it's so focused on sex, it's so focused on trauma, it's so focused on abuse, that sometimes it just can't be fun and happy and cute. You know what I mean? And so I just wanted to do something that was just fun and cute, that anybody watching that can be like, yeah, I can relate to that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what Tomboy Love Story is about.
That sounds dope. Make sure y'all.
Not yet. If certain things, I'm still trying to wait to get in these festivals. I have just waiting on a couple more people to get back to me. If that doesn't happen, man, I'm just gonna put it on YouTube.
That's what I was just about to ask you. When you gonna put it out there?
Yeah, we gonna put it on YouTube and rock out. So yeah, I think by the end of the summer, if things haven't happened, Labor Day, something like that for the fall, we just gonna rock it out and put it on Instagram, and we just gonna make that thing go viral. And everybody that didn't let me in their festival is gonna be mad that they passed on this dopeness.
You heard that, Tribeca? You heard that, Robert and all of them?
You heard that, all that ABF Festival, Toronto Gay Film Festival, Black Star Film Festival. Yeah. All y'all, man. Y'all know South by Southwest, Sundance. Sure. All y'all told me no for years. But it's all good. I got all the no letters, and trust me, when that yes comes and when this thing goes up, I'm putting y'all on Instagram. Don't you worry about it.
I hear that hot shit. That's as you should. Show your fucking ass.
You know what I'm saying? I've been grinding for a long time. I've been putting films in festivals since I want to say 2013. So, yeah, but it's all good. Your time is gonna come. Oh yeah, and I keep going. I keep pushing.
As you should. So, for the younger kids, the younger generation, you have any advice for them as far as career path and even finding community?
For career path, I think that for us, a lot of people, we're losing our skills. I think that, these days, unfortunately, everybody's so obsessed with being famous and being a star and having attention.
On it. Say it again.
That we aren't fully taking education seriously. That we aren't fully... And don't get me wrong, listen, everybody's not meant to go to college. I did go to college. I'm happy that I went to college because I felt like it helped me be able to come to New York and be disciplined and get up, go to work, go to film school every day, go to class, do my work, and just have structure. Yeah. I wouldn't say it necessarily set me up to get the best job, but it helped me have discipline and structure myself to know how to be on my own and how to plan and apply. and organized. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, everybody ain't meant to go to college, but we all have to do something. You have to have a skill. And I also think that people look down too much on blue-collar jobs or working for the post office or working for the city or being an engineer, being a plumber, you know, being a barber, being a hairdresser, you know, being a seamstress, being, you know, opening a cleaners, opening a laundromat, you know, these things that we still need in our community.
Even working at McDonald's.
Even working at listen, everybody can't do everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially as black people, we have to realize that, listen, after slavery, we had all the skills. And we was tired of working. So we said, man, fuck that shit. We ain't doing that shit no more. And we let other people come in here that learn the skills and take the jobs. So what we have to understand is that we still need skills to be able to build foundation. How are we going to be able to build our own community, our own little Africas around here, our own, you know, you got all these little Italy's, little this, little, but how are we going to build it? We don't have people that have skills that don't want to be construction workers, that don't want to be architects, that don't want to learn how to make shit.
That's a fact.
You know, how can we have that? How can we build anything that don't want to learn agriculture, that don't want to learn how to farm, that don't want to be a cooker, that don't want to be a cook? Everybody just want to be a singer, a rapper, a ball player, Instagrammer, a reviewer of opening a fucking box and telling me what's in it.
I just said that.
You understand what I'm saying?
I was saying, I don't know if I said this on the episode, but I said basically the same exact shit. I feel like the evolution of the internet and having all these social media platforms got people fucked up on what real life is. And because you see everybody getting rich off of taking pictures and, like you said, reviewing food and whatever.
Who can build a fucking table? Can you build a table? Can you change a tire? Be a mechanic. Like, all these things, like, there's nothing wrong. Be a truck driver.
Exactly.
Like, yo, we need this type of shit, man. We
People
need
be
people
intentionally
with these skills.
doing dumb shit trying to get seen instead of going to do the right thing. Like you said, it doesn't have nothing to do with college. Nothing like that.
This is all
but
trades.
You can still find a way to go get it.
Yeah.
You don't have to be sitting around waiting for your shot on the internet doing stupid ass shit.
Yeah.
That shit don't make no sense.
Industry. I work in the film industry. I work in props.
Word, you want to take so many pictures and videos.
Yeah, you can go work in props, work in the camera department. You know, you could be a photographer. You know, my homeboy, he opened his own framing business. Like, he loves to frame pictures. Like, that's a skill. That's a business. Printing pictures. Like, these things are skills. You know what I'm saying? Who knows how to be a handyman? Like,
shit, cleaning is a business.
Landscaping. Landscaping. Like, yo, I feel like all of these things that are essential businesses that matter, that keep the community, for the world to keep going. Yep. And you can be a millionaire, you can be rich, you can be 100,000-aire off these jobs, being a dentist, being a doctor still, being a nurse, a lawyer, an esthetician, whatever the fuck you want to do. But you don't have to just be in front of the TV rapping and singing and looking pretty, or have an OnlyFans to make money and be successful. Take care of your family and provide.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean?
What about the finding of community?
Finding of community, I think that can be tough for a lot of young people, because I feel like sometimes some people find the wrong community. You know, I think it's really important that we, you know, our young kids have knowledge of self and really align with those people that make you feel good.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? And don't force yourself, like I said, even with this gay shit, man, don't force yourself to be in it just because you ain't got no other friends. If just because you hanging around the gay people and you ain't gay, you don't have to be gay, but you can hang around them and still do that. But don't feel like you got to do everything everybody else is doing, and vice versa. If you hanging around a bunch of toxic motherfuckers, you know, whether they straight, whatever, and they always talking shit and they ain't building you up and pouring positivity in you or speaking positivity in you when you not around, like, listen, you don't need to be around them. So I think that you have to have the courage to not be around the biggest group. If you got 1 or 2 people that rock with you, rock with those 1 or 2. Don't feel like you got to be with the 10 and the 15 that don't give a fuck about you and will put you in a bad situation and endanger your life. Look at that girl Shanquilla who went to Mexico with her quote unquote friends. We still don't have justice for her. Her family still don't have justice for her, but they filmed her beating her, broke her spine, left her for dead, and went the fuck home. You understand what I'm saying? That's real shit. That's what I talk to my niece about. Have enough honor and courage to say, you know what, I'm good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, know that it's not that serious, because I think we all have that moment, especially as women. We all have that intuition that's like, you know, boys, they get hyped, they think quick, they deal, but we always have that moment of thought of.
We think more. I think we think a lot more.
You understand what I'm saying? So just have some courage, and it's okay. You will live to see another day.
Facts.
If you lose a couple followers, if somebody didn't like your picture, fuck them. It's all good. Don't worry about it. So I think that more than anything, you gotta have some knowledge yourself, some confidence, and just be unafraid to be alone in this social media world where everybody has to be attached to everything and everybody. You know what I mean?
I feel you on that. That's why I always said when I started this podcast, I don't care if only one person watched this shit. I'm doing this for me. I want to get it out to the world. People watch it, they accept it. But I don't. It's not to be famous. It's to let the people know there's real shit going on, and everything ain't gotta be whitewashed all the time. We get straight to the shit on here. Word. And that's why we so authentic, and that's why people do gravitate to it. So I appreciate you coming on here, talking your shit, dropping the gems and knowledge. I'm gonna have to have you back. Because I got another topic I want to talk about, but I think you're going to be the only person I can really talk about it right now.
Yeah, listen, man, I'm ready. I'm here whenever y'all want me to be here. You know, thank you for having me.
Tell the people where to find everything, where to buy, where to cop out, you heard?
Yeah, so you can cop the gear at stylistfreedom.com. That's Style is Freedom, just like you said it. Styleisfreedom.com. You can follow Stylist Freedom on every platform. Listen, I need to get more busy on Twitter, but for now, Instagram is what it is, and that's also Style is Freedom at Instagram. You can find me, Tomboy301, on Twitter and Instagram, TOMBOI 301, because I am a talented, original, motivated, brilliant, outstanding individual, just like y'all. So y'all be good. Peace and love is love.
And we off this.